Hey guys, so for today we are going to be working on Everyday Math Lesson 5.8, Finding the Missing Factor. Your activities that you will be doing are home link, the math boxes, and for the extension you're going to practice with IXL G8. So our objective for today is I can solve multiplication and division problems with missing numbers. So we're going to be using those missing numbers to help us solve these problems, but we're also going to need to know the relationship between multiplication and division. One of the things that we know is 8 times 5 is 40. So by knowing that, we can also solve division problems based on our fact families. So 40 divided by 5 is 8. So the first thing that I want to do is go over a evaluate question that we've had, and actually a lot of you did a really good job on this question. This is from one of the past evaluate questions that we've done, and it's asking us to find a number sentence that is true. So if we know that 9 times 4 is 36, we should be able to find another problem or a number sentence that will relate to that multiplication problem. So automatically when I think about this, I know that multiplication and division go together. So my first thing would be I would get rid of 36 minus 4 equals 9 and 36 plus 9 equals 4. First of all, those aren't even true. It doesn't work. Then what I'm left with is 36 divided by 9 equals 4, and 36 divided by 9 equals 9. So one of the things that I know about my fact families is when I go to write a fact family, I have to write these same problems, or these same numbers. And I know that I'm just going to be moving those around. So the only one that has all three of those numbers is 36 divided by 9 equals 4. So we want to make sure that when we are trying to solve a problem that we're using those numbers and we're switching the factors around with the answer, the product. Okay, so another question that we have on the evaluate, slightly less students did as well on this. And so we need to find the number sentence, or we need to find the number that makes this number sentence true. Now, one of the things that I always like to say is I always want to have a problem where my missing number is going to be the one that is after the equal sign. So what I like to do is to write out my fact families based on what I have. So I know something times 9 equals 54. And then I can switch my two factors, my two multiplication problems, or numbers. So I'm going to do 9 times something equals 54. And then for division, I'm taking the product, or the largest number, and dividing it by the factors. So I'm going to do 54 divided by something equals 9. And then my final one will be 54 divided by 9 equals something. So when I look at this problem right here is going to be the one that's going to help me to solve this. So the way that I think about doing this division problem is to draw 9 circles. And then I'm going to split 54 things in there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. So after I've split out all 54, I can see that each of these groups has 6 pieces in it. So 54 equals 6 times 9 is 54. So my answer should have been 6. Looking at another one, it says select the equation that will help solve this problem. 49 divided by 7 equals something. So again, I want to think about my multiplication division fact families. So this problem could actually be asking you for multiple answers, and so you'll have to pay attention. The way that I find is the easiest is to write out my fact families. So I already have 49 divided by 7, and I'm just going to write that out again because I want to see that I have all 4. Since I started with division, I'm going to go ahead and write another division. I should not have said 4. It should be a blank line. So 49 divided by something equals 7. And then I'm going to go into my multiplication. So I know that it's going to equal 49. That's my large number. So I'm going to do 7 times something equals 49. And then something times 7 equals 49. This one is not really asking to solve the problem. So I'm looking for which of one of the equations that I wrote is over on the left side. So the first one, something times 7 equals 49. This one is on there with that one. 49 times something equals 7. No, anytime that I multiply, I know my product or the answer is going to have to be bigger than the factor. So that's not going to work. 49 times 7 equals something. Again, I know that 49 is going to be my biggest number, so this one will not work either. And then something divided by 7 equals 49. Again, when I'm dividing, 49 is going to be my big number, so it's going to need to be over here. So the only one that works is the first one, something times 7 equals 49. That falls in the fact family of 49 divided by 7. Okay, so moving on for today, we're looking at finding this missing factor. This problem says there are 6 teams on the field for a tournament. There are 54 players in all. Each team has the same number of players. How many players are there on each team? So I want to go through cubes, circling my number so I can see 6 teams, 54 players in all. I'm going to underline my questions, how many players are on each team. And I also want to box in my math keywords so I can see the word each team, and I can see that they have the same number. And then I can see in all. So for me, in all is going to be a big piece of it. And I'm going to be thinking about my number sentence. So when I say in all, I know that it's going to be equals 54. So all of my teams and my players together, all of them will just be 54 players. Now, I'm thinking about my number sentence, and because I see in all and I see each, those are two multiplication words, so I'm thinking this is going to be a multiplication problem. So I'm looking at what I know, and I know there are 6 teams, and I want to know how many players are going to be on each team. I don't know that yet. So I can't really solve this problem by doing 6 times something equals 54, unless I know my facts. Since I don't know my facts, or I can't count by 6s, then I'm going to switch this around and do a division problem. Again, thinking about our fact families, I'm going to do 54 divided by 6. I want it so that my unknown number is going to be in the equal side. So 54 divided by 6. I remember this from last problem, and I know that my answer is 9. I could have easily have drawn out 6 circles and then split 54. That would take a lot of time, and so I didn't want to do that at this point. So it would be 9 players on each team. One of the games that we can play is called Salute. This is similar if you guys have ever played the game Heads Up. You put a card on your forehead, and the dealer, the one in the middle, is going to look at both players' cards and give the product. So whatever those two cards are, they're going to multiply them together. So if you have a 3 on your head and I have a 5 on my head, then the dealer is going to say, well, that's 15. So what I have to do is try to figure out what my number is based on what your card says. So I know you have a 3. So I'm thinking to myself, 3 times what equals 15? So I have to try to solve that problem and figure out 3 times what equals 15. I could go through and I could change this into a division problems. 15 divided by 3 equals something. And I would draw 3 circles and then split 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And when I look at it, I can see that there are 5 in each group. So I would say, oh, I have a 5 on my forehead. This is something that you can do at home with brothers or sisters, or with an adult. You would need 3 players because you each need to hold up a number, and then you need the middle person to call out the product. And the final thing that I want to look at is just solving some of these problems. When I'm looking for the missing factor, one thing that I can do is if I see a factor, one of the numbers that we're multiplying is a number that I can count by, I can use that to count up to the product and figure out how many times I counted up. So this one I can count by 5s, and I could do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and that is 5. I can't really count by 6s, so one thing that I could do is to draw out 6 circles and then split out 24. 6, 12, 18, and then 24. So 4 in each group, so that is 4 times 6 is 24. I can count by 2s, and I'm going to count by 2s 12 times, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I counted 6 2s, so this is 6. 5 times what equals 30? Again, I know 5, so I can count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I counted 6 5s, so this is 6 as well. I can count by 10, so I'm going to count up to this number to figure out my missing number. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I counted 5 10s. All right, so you are going to answer these problems, and you can either count, or on your board, piece of paper, you're going to draw your circles to split each of these problems. So, what times 5 equals 45? You should have said 9. The second one, what times 3 equals 21? You should have said 7. 7 times 3 equals 21. What times 4 equals 16? You should have said 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 8 times what equals 16? You should have said 2. 8 times 2 is 16. And the final one, drawing your picture out, 7 times what equals 28? You should have said 4. 7 times 4 equals 28. So, you are going to complete the home link, complete the math boxes, and then you're going to go to iExcel and complete G8. It is just some more practicing of filling in the missing factor. And you're going to do this until you get at least a score of 80.